So now, as I was speaking about the letter of the law and grace and letters in the alphabet, it seems like I have things head to foot reversed. We have letters in the alphabet that belong either capital or lowercase in their place. But who put those letters in their place? Well, of course, it was the gods of the English language. The gods of English put this together. God in heaven appointed a committee, and it was inspired by God Himself that capital letters be in the front of a sentence. And you should use a capital letter when referring to people by name or places like England, where the Angs are from, or from Thailand, where Thais are from. You didn't know the Thais came from Thailand? What about Turkey? All capitalized. But what bothers me is these people who made these rules up. You realize that there are things called personal pronouns. And they're like you. But you notice with the personal pronoun you, it's a lowercase y. Unless it's in the beginning of a sentence. Which brings me to I. Why is it that I has more status than you? Because I'm always first, I'm always capital. I is capitalized even though it's a personal pronoun. Very strange, but the gods of English have deemed that the personal pronouns have preferences, and I always is capitalized because I is better than everything else. You wonder, were these gods of English conceited? Were they self-righteous? Were they pompous? I don't know. The strangeness of this whole thing. But now let's take a look at the mixing of letters. How we have some lowercase and some uppercase letters put in certain places in certain ways by the gods of English, which was basically, if it was not ordained by God, well then who ordained this? Because English, if you look at it, is stupid. Have you really looked at English? I before E, except before C, so pi becomes P, peace becomes pi, pi E, I E could be E, or if it's before C. But there's so many exceptions to the rule. And so how did there get to be so many exceptions to the rules? I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that we have a muddled mess. And who will rightly divide the confusion? Because not only do we have it in English, I believe that we have it in other languages, such as Greek or Japanese. So, is it anata wa donata desu ka? Or is it houkan ni nani ga onozomi desu ka? And is it kalimera-sa? Or is it krasi, which is wine? I love krasi. It's a beautiful Greek word. Mein Deutsch ist schlecht, aber ja, in der deutschen Sprache, der fremden Sprache, it's a related, verwandte. What I'm getting at here is that if we have these problems in English, who are the gods of German? Who are the gods of Italian? Mi italiano non è bene. Where are we going with all this? And I think where I'm going to really bring some clarity to this whole thing is who rightly divides the words that we have. We have the King James Version, where they speak with an old English that I can't pronounce. I really can't. And I think it was actually closer to what we have in Scotland, the King's English, actually. As the Old English was more pronounced like that. I'm not Shakespearean, but I've heard that even the Shakespearean plays that are done in the regular English and then the Old English, which is actually closer to something you'd hear in Scotland today, the King's English. And so language has evolved, it has been muddled, it has been mixed with other languages. We see Germanish languages, we see German mixed with English, we see some Anglo-Saxon, French, even French words mixed in English, and that's just in English. I mean, even in Russian, there's words that are Latin in origin, um, um, and they're just pronounced a little bit different. And so, what happened to all the words, and what words are the right words, and who knows how to rightly divide or parse out all the words? And here's where I'm getting with the Bible. The Bible was torn into all these different pieces and reconstructed over all these years, and with pretty good accuracy, I would say, to a certain degree. But we have so many different sects of Christianity, and everybody wanting to dictate that their idea of Christianity is the correct idea. Their tomato is your tomato, but their tomato is right and your tomato is wrong. But your tomato is right and their tomato is wrong. And what of potatoes? So what I'm getting at here is that there really does need to be some talk and debate, but there absolutely needs to be some sort of tolerance. And I can tolerate lowercase letters as long as they're put in their place. There's more of them than uppercase letters, but uppercase letters are higher class than the lowercase letters, so they need to be discriminated against. Is that fair? The gods of English obviously made I above you. So, so I really think that defining what you believe about letters and the letter of the law and the code and defining your faith is very important. Um, but if we were to start to really parse out words, we're going to see a lot of division out there. We're going to see a lot of people who don't agree and stamp their feet and act like babies and do what they do. And really, nobody really knows whether it ever was tomato or tomato. Some of them have their view on it, and maybe they can prove their view on it. But can we be tolerant of lowercase and uppercase letters? Can uppercase letters put away their pride to take a lowly position? Or do they have to take their place humbly at the beginning of a sentence, or in the place of I, when they know that they're exalted above you because they're capital when they're I? Can they take that place graciously and understand that they're not going to lord it over the lowercase letters, or they're not going to cause a fuss? And the lowercase letters, although they've been stepped on by uppercase letters, can they realize that they have a very important place in a sentence? In my view, actually, lowercase letters have no reason to live. Which, I know that's... Actually, it would really save the shift key. You wouldn't need it anymore. So if I was the god of uppercase and lowercase letters, I would commit lowercase letter genocide. Be that as it may, can we all just live together and coexist? And it really does need to be debated. There does need to be, and I'm talking, of course, metaphorically, but I'm also talking about what we believe. It's really important to get down to finding the truth, and I think that everybody is on the same page. Everybody wants to find truth. They just get very upset when the truth that they have is not agreed with by everybody. So I'm just hoping that we can all talk about it without getting all up in arms and filing lawsuits over whether lowercase letters should have equality or uppercase letters should beat them in court with their political prowess. Anyway, just a thought. Have a great day.